October 28th, 2018. The Red Sox are World Series champions, a team that finished the 2018 season with 108 wins. The best team in baseball won it all. A locked-in core that was set in stone to be winners for years to come, with Rafael Devers, a bat that showed power and potential in 2018. Mookie Betts, who had an unbelievable MVP-winning season in 2018, or even shortstop Xander Bogaerts. Boston was awesome. Going into 2019, they were perceived to be winners by everyone and make it into the playoffs, and what happened shocked everyone. They went from a lock, a guaranteed playoff spot, to missing the playoffs and finishing the season 84-78. No one understood how something like this could have happened, but the Red Sox, of course, took action. They went ahead and fired the GM who put everything together in Dave Dombrowski, and instead moved into a much different direction because Tampa Bay was coming off of a 96-66 season, and they showed a lot of promise and a big future, with also a very small payroll doing this with. So the Red Sox said, why not go in and bring a guy from that front office, which is what they ended up doing, bringing in Chaim Bloom. They went from a super aggressive GM who put together an incredible team with no future in Dave Dombrowski to a much different side of things, a much different world. A guy in Bloom that was more so concerned about the fact that the team had no future, as far as the contracts went, and as far as the farm system went, being the worst in baseball, with Mookie Betts set to be a free agent, the superstar player. And this team at the major league level wasn't ready all around. They weren't good enough. So Mookie was traded to the LA Dodgers. Bloom has since said that the reason was that there was no guys to put around Mookie Betts, so therefore it left him with the only smart option, which was to trade him. He got top prospect Jeter Downs, outfielder Alex Verdugo, and prospect Connor Wong. Downs was a bust. Verdugo has been good, but definitely not great, and Wong has taken a leap here in 2023, and looks like he'll be the catcher on this Boston team for a long time. But the key is that this all took time, because in 2020, the Red Sox were 5th place in the AL East, and in 2021, things started to go right for the Red Sox, even getting it into the ALCS, where they were eliminated, but in 2022, this team wasn't the same. They were not the ALCS Red Sox that we saw a year ago. Guys were getting older, the bullpen was awful, and the starting rotation was also pretty terrible. Looking in at the lineup, on the other hand, it too needed revamped. JD Martinez looked like he took a step down with the power. Bobby Dahlback was clearly a bust, and overall, they just needed more. So in the offseason going into 2023, the Red Sox made moves. It was shaping up to be a team that looked like it could contend, unlike the 2022 Red Sox. They addressed a massive need, which was the closer role, bringing in Kenley Jansen. Also bringing in other different players and other different bullpen arms like Chris Martin. They also went ahead and added key bats for the lineup like Masataka Yoshida on a massive contract, a guy with pop in the bat and a ton of contact, as well as DH Justin Turner, who's been an awesome addition for the Red Sox, being an RBI machine and a key part of their lineup. Plus, they also went ahead and added a slugger and a guy who provides great defense in Adam Duvall. Plus, you were getting Chris Sale back from injury, James Paxton, and you had young prospects like Costas shaping up to be something. Well, in 2023, the Red Sox have had a lot happen so far. Wong has broken out at catcher, Costas has broken out at first base, and Yoshida has been great in his first year in the major leagues. Plus, Jarren Duran was a massive surprise breakout for the Red Sox. And then arms like Brian Bayo, Cutter Crawford, and Josh Winkowski have also been awesome for the Red Sox pitching. This team has taken a massive step into the right direction from what we saw in 2022. Also with one of the top farms in baseball, which brings me into the most underrated future in the MLB. As I've went over, key guys have broken out for the Red Sox, guys who have many years left under team control and have very bright futures, and are young. But it isn't just the guys that have been called up. There's a bunch of other players that are in the minor leagues that look great too. Some being a bit away from the majors, others almost being about ready. The closest guy to being called up right now is Ceddanne Rafaela, a player who could play pretty much everywhere. He could play in the infield, and he could also go ahead and play in the outfield. A speedy guy, a great athlete with a lot of power in his bat, and he also gets a lot of hits for the batting average. In the minor leagues in 2023, he has a .302 average, 19 home runs, and an .869 OPS. He's super consistent, which is what's really fun about him, but he does have his struggles just like every other player, and the main one is that he strikes out a lot. He chases a lot of pitches outside of the zone, which could also be a killer for him in the future in the major leagues, which is really why the Sox have really taken it slow with him, which I do agree with. You don't want to rush a guy like that into the majors, or else he will be bound to fail. But either way, he will likely be up on the opening day roster in 2024. If not then he'll be up around June, I could imagine. They also have plenty of others like Marcelo Mayer, the future shortstop of the Boston Red Sox, at least we hope. He shows promise defensively and offensively. Of course, a former 4th overall pick in the first round coming out of high school. Right now he's 20 years old, and the earliest that I see him being up is probably a September call-up in 2024, but more realistically, he'll probably be up on the opening day roster in 2025. Now, I understand the talk about many prospects don't pan out, that this will all fail and that my video is dumb because prospects don't pan out. Well, even if this is the case, the Red Sox have a very comfortable security blanket to really fall on right now with guys like Nick York, Roman Anthony, Miguel Bleis, Blaze Jordan, and many others that are working their way up the system, and they're doing it fast too. As we've seen with many teams, especially recently, controllable players and consistently drafting well results in long-term winning. It means that you won't have the same issue that the Red Sox ran into in 2019, because you won't have to go through those growing pains nearly as often. The thing that makes this team a bit different, though, than the Rays is that this Red Sox team spends money, whereas the Rays don't spend money, really at all, right? The Red Sox won't go over the luxury tax, so they will spend to an extent. Now, Chaim Bloom has already gone over that he likes what the Braves have done, right? Extending their young guys like Acuna, Austin Riley, and plenty of others. You know, keeping them a part of that team for a very long time on cheaper deals. Well, I could see this happening with the Red Sox. Chaim Bloom's already expressed that he wants to do this with the Red Sox, right? I would imagine it would probably be a guy like Tristan Casas, Brian Bayo, Jarren Duran, probably those being the main 3 that he ends up doing it with. They, of course, also have Rafael Devers, who's extended for a very long time, so it only adds to the fact that this team has an awesome future. Of course, with Alex Cora as manager and the MLB development showing a lot of promise with a lot of different players, I have no reason to believe that the Red Sox don't have the most underrated future in the MLB.